and it's their time alone. It cannot pass, you cannot pass that time on to someone else. If you have concerns or comments about individuals, those are not appropriate during public comment times. So please do not say anything that would identify circumstances or a person or a group of people directly by what you say. Be respectful. People on Zoom are welcome to join the public comment. Please put your name in. Angie, you're checking that out. Is there anyone who would like to address the board? Anyone on the chat? We don't chat. All right, thank you. Administrative reports for summer school.
Well, summer school is going well. Chandra is going to present the full report in August or September. And we'll have all the numbers, FTEs, impact, total enrollments. As you ventured into the woods last night by the school forest, you noticed some of the summer school activities. So they're up there every day. They're having fun. Kids are outside. They're learning. So it's a nice combination again of activities to engage students as well as academics. So nice blend. And then Chandra will come unless Ivy, you had anything you wanted to share from your first hand.
One thing to add is it's the highest enrollment this week.
Yeah.
But the building is the quietest that it's been because so many of our groups are out in the community, partnering up with other entities to put on plays, working over at the Bayfield Rec Center with swimming lessons, up at the school forest, biking around town, fishing, all kinds of cool stuff happening. So it's a quiet building, but it is, you've got a lot of kids. Yeah. Yep.
That's cool. Other things, just as the governor's budget was signed, reading the pending potential lawsuit, not getting anything that's going to impact the next 2 years of the budget, but there might be a challenge of the 402 years in terms of the line item. So we'll something to see, but we'll be playing off probably over the next several months. But we're not getting any indication that that's going to impact the 325 per pupil that we're looking at in terms of for 2 years anyway. So budget's still looking like we'll be balanced. We'll present a preliminary budget. We'll be looking at more of the impact that's not going to directly affect our operational budget, but could impact mill rate with private school payments. We're not sure what that final number is going to be in terms of what the state's going to give. That's a direct impact on our taxpayers. We're also looking at transportation impact because we are required to transport students to private school. There's a number of students that might impact, which might require us to send a bus. So we're working through those things. We're working with Myron on phase 2 as well as school perceptions. I'm going to talk to Tina prior to our long range planning because we have several different avenues that we want to try to go with, not only with phase 2, gathering information and data from the community about the building condition, presentation and the costs. So we want to gather some of that. Also working on the strategic planning and then using school perceptions to do a student, staff, community feedback in terms of any and all things related to the school district. So partnering with them. So we need to talk long range planning. How does that fit in? When does that fit in? What's the timing of that? We have the costs of those. Board's already approved phase 2 with Myron. We have the costs from school perceptions. After tonight, when the board passes the second reading, we'll work and finalize our administrative guidelines going into the start of school, as well as finalizing and all things related to the opening. So starting to get busy again, which is good. Angie,
high school, you've read my report, so you know a lot of what's going on already. Just for staffing, we are moving forward with other options for that science position, how we can make sure that we become fully staffed. We actually have one of our new individuals here in the audience right now. Linda is out there, so she's on the agenda for approval today. She'll be middle school special education. And I'm trying to think, moving forward, did talk with G-Safe about some potential trainings that we can set up during our after hours PD. I talked with CISA 12. I also emailed what's called the network, and it's through DPI. It's affiliated with DPI to be able to reach out and see if we can find some people of diversity that can either come here or through Zoom or whatever, have some trainings for our staff on just how do we deal with microaggressions, or if students deal with something like that, how do we help them? How do we support them? What are other options that we have? That kind of thing. So outside of what you read in a report, those are the things that I've been working on over the last month.
I have a question.
Sure.
So, with the plan of perhaps moving this person to from science, from math to science, is it easier to find a math teacher than a science teacher?
That's an excellent question. I don't know at this point. I have heard of more people just because as I'm a high school math teacher, I always kind of hear like all the rumblings. I've heard more rumblings about high school math than I have about science. So
Meaning that there's more people.
potentially, yes. So like we posted it and the first day we got an applicant, though it's somebody from overseas. So we're kind of waiting to see what happens. We'll wait and see. We're working like what's option 3, what's option 4 if we need it. So we are working through all those processes just to make sure that our kids are getting the best of what we can get them. So.
Right, and then at the elementary, in addition to summer school, we also have our ELC program continues to run throughout the summer, and as well as our Cast for Kids, which right now is just in the afternoons after summer school, but in August will be full days for those first 3 weeks. One kind of exciting thing at the ELC is with the expansion of the 4K program to offer that 5-day-a-week option that opens up several students who would be doing part half and half next year to move to 4K. And that we were able to welcome several students off of our wait list and significantly reduce our wait list for the ELC, which is very exciting. And even to the point where we had 2 openings that we could put out to the community for that preschool room. So we're really excited about that, as I know it's a really great need in the community. And I'm excited to keep the board posted on what that looks like moving forward. Also at the ELC, we've been able, I know a priority is keeping that tuition cost as low as possible. And we've been able to, through board support and grant funding, and so again, in the fall, we're able to push that back, the tuition increase back again until that won't happen until January of 2024. And then as for Cast for Kids, one way we're looking to expand is that to hopefully offer it during the 3 professional days that happen throughout the school year. So those are days that teachers are working in and out of the building. It aligns nicely with end of the quarter. So a lot of report cards, assessments are happening. And some families take a 3-day weekend and they spend time at home, but some families are in need of childcare. And so we're looking to offer that this year, which we haven't done in the past. In addition to that, we've actually done quite a bit of school improvement work over the summer. I think traditionally school districts will have plans that start in the fall and end in the spring. They start over in the next fall and maybe aren't able to keep that going over time. And I'm really excited to say that we are. So all of the hard work we put into school improvement efforts throughout the course of last year is not only continuing into next year, but I would say it's expanding and increasing. So we're really excited about that. A few notes is that we're using a math resource called Illustrative Math. It's something that fits in really nicely with all of the math improvement work that we've done this year. And so we have 2 training sessions coming up for teachers in kindergarten through 12th grade to start that process. And actually, I shouldn't say start, because middle school, high school team really taken the lead, done a nice job with it throughout the whole spring, and have already started piloting it. We've also been starting to work on a framework called Building Thinking Classrooms. We have several teachers doing book studies on that this summer. Younger elementary, we have a Terra West guided phonics program. So we have consistency in phonics instruction from 4K through 2nd grade, strengthening our reading program. The pacing guides have been updated, so the standards don't change. So state standards stay the same. But the way that the order that we teach them in, the priorities that we list, all of that's dependent on our student needs, our school data. Jody Maddock, our math interventionist, did a lot of hard work on that this past year. So we're updating our pacing guides, and we'll reflect that on our website for students, families, and staff to see. And then a lot of teams have been working on summer curriculum work and just making improvements for moving into next year. Thank you.
It is a busy time for all of you.
Yeah.
Just a couple additions, no new open records requests in the file in the master. We're still working with St. Louis. Right now, we're just having a kind of a mid-building assessment for what would need to be done at St. Louis. If that would be something that we would be interested in pursuing. So some final steps, saying you'll be invited to our, I don't want to say last meeting, but our next meeting. We'll have that information and data probably middle of August. And then next week, I think, is Janet's Super Bowl, something she gets very excited about. So, stay away from the office, basically. The auditors are in town, so. All right, well, it's coming up, so I know she's giddy with anticipation.
Something like.
You always do so well in the audit, so I wouldn't have too much concern. I thought. Thank you. Did we get any billing in from any of the legal situations yet? No. The financial reports and bills.
Yeah, right before I make the recommendation to approve, I'll just like second your sentiments to Janet, and just the organization and the attention to detail really just makes this job so easy, so that it's really like a blessing and a curse to see like all of these things like coming through the district, and all this information, and be able to go through it with a fine tooth comb, albeit easier when the months aren't as big as these last couple like months by the end of this year. And but just like you said, just organized, and I'm feeling very confident like going into this audit, and think all of our ducks are completely in a row. And yeah, I'm just super thankful. Looking forward to this preliminary budget and kind of seeing what's going on in the state of public education in our lovely state of Wisconsin, and we'll see how it impacts our community and our taxpayers. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, so I move to approve the financial reports and bills for May of 2023 and June of 2023.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Consent agenda. There's lots of coaching contracts being given.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Any discussion on any of the issues? If not, any motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Discussion items, legislative updates.
Everything right now, it's just everything all budget, so it's interesting times. Budget's been approved, so we know what that is, but usually there's a celebration after the budget for 2 years is approved, but I'm sensing that there'll be some conflict and some contentious things coming out of that. So we'll watch. I don't think it's going to impact our operations for the next couple of years, but it's like physics. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, so just wait to see what that reaction is.
Well, I thought it was an interesting budget.
Interesting budgets are good.
This is the 12 update.
Yeah, we had a board meeting this morning. We weren't going to have any in July, but we had 3. So, this one was regarding the sale of building. The price had to be, renegotiated due to the fact that there were some building issues that popped up before the sale. So the price was renegotiated from $350,000 to $322,500. Hopefully tomorrow at 11 o'clock it closes. I'm amazed. I am too. And after realtor costs and whatever, the final money coming in is $299,882.50. They're making apartments. Yep.
Anything else?
That's that and hiring.
So, thank you. All right, we'll go to the individual action. We need to vote to adopt the people academic standards for the Wisconsin Act 55.
Annual requirement from the state. I'll turn it over to our director of curriculum.
Yeah, one of our requirements is for the school board to address this in July and also for the district to share our standards with our families in the district each year. We do that by posting on our website, and we have the Wisconsin state standards in all content areas and grade levels. We also include it in our handbooks on where to find them, which is sent out to families every year. And then we want to be proactive, so we like to communicate with families, and many classrooms and many teachers share them through their syllabi, and through newsletters and information. We call them sometimes pacing guides that go home. And you'll hear a lot of talk in the curriculum council meetings about how to organize the standards in a way that's very easy to read and understand by students and families, so that we change, we take on and off. But we always keep that direct link to the state standards right on there. So there's always access, and then we're always looking to improve and expand.
Unlike most districts, our curriculum in Washburn, so when staff's engaged in that process, they reflect, they own it, they're empowered to be the instructional leaders, not only in the classroom, but their curriculum council. The work is year round, so we're writing curriculum in multiple areas over the summer, so it's not just something that sits on a shelf. It's something that's very alive, and teachers do an excellent job reflecting, changing, modifying. Nicely done.
I make a motion to vote to adopt the pupil academic standards for Wisconsin activity.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I
Opposed? Motion carried. Discussion and vote to approve the CPI of 8%.
I move to, oh, we have to discuss this.
You can make a motion. and then we can discuss it.
Well, I move to approve the CPI of 8%.
Second.
Okay, so let's discuss.
It's one thing that when post-act 10, Washburn was very clear of what we would do. And we would honor the CPI. In years that the CPI has been embarrassingly low. The district has always supported our teachers through supplemental pay. The 8% is just one of those inflationary numbers that comes out to reflect the needs of our staff. All of our staff. I think it's appropriate to approve, and it's something that is built within our budget.
Can you speak a little bit about how the salaries for the teachers in Washburn compare? Are they comparable to neighboring schools, or do we?
Yeah, I would say that in the immediate area, we would be outside of one district. We would be above what other districts pay.
That's including with the 8%.
Absolutely. Oh, that, yeah, I would say that we would be.
Or we're higher, okay.
And then the amount that we would be increasing significantly higher, double than most districts. But again, it's something that we've committed to with our teachers and all of our staff.
And that's a really good effect teachers and retain teachers also.
It's not the only thing, but I've always been pleased at the work that the administration has done to engage our professionals and to give them like the autonomy to like adhere by Act 55 and those standards, but really make it their own and have it a living document, having the professionals do what they do best. I've always appreciated that too, but this is a step, and it's something that we can do now, and I'm pleased to see it.
All in favor?
I
Opposed? Motion carried. The vote to approve the second reading of the policies that are listed. We have first reading last month. Most of them are just basically clerical errors and or correction.
Some updates based on some state statutes that changed. There were no comments or input from the last first reading, so nothing's changed since that.
Motion.
The second reading of the policy update.
Second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approve the methods.
I move to approve the milk bids for 23-24 school year.
Are they something that went up, or is it fairly consistent?
I think that everything across the board's gone up. I think the milk that's went up, but It's just relative to everything else. on the basis.
Stayed.
All in favor?
I
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to approve the bread bids.
I move to approve the bread bids for 23-24 school year.
Second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Need a motion to approve the WIAA 22-23 membership renewal.
Should be 23-24.
That's just
No.
that.
WIA.
I move to approve the WIA 2023-24 membership renewal.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Vote to approve Linda Navy Durst as a middle school sped teacher.
She is joining us in the crowd tonight.
Mhm.
She is coming to us from Northwestern Middle School. We are so excited to have her on our team, so.
I move to approve Linda Nedderst as middle school sped teacher.
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carried. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
We need a motion to approve John McGuire as the high school English teacher. He's not here.
He's not.
To approve John McGuire from high school English.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carried. A motion to approve Bailey Cole as the garden helper.
I move to approve Bailey Kroll as the garden helper.
I'll
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
If you hadn't had a chance, we're doing great work. So you get a chance to get up by the vegetable gardens, just the gardens in general, the grounds in general. So it's really a cool time for the kids get in to start.
Yelsey has her eyes on the blueberries.
All right. those blueberries, that
Getting
was
close, yeah.
a nice addition.
All right, any motion to approve maternity leave for Amanda Bellinger?
make a motion to approve maternity leave from Amanda Bellinger.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carried.
Yesterday.
No, third record.
It's never again.
The critique wasn't gonna have been faster.
20 minutes. Next time, guys.
Guys get a chance to look at those.
Sandy, you just want to make it that we're.
No, we are adjourned.
Very good.